Hi everyone, tonight's lesson on paragraphs is a really short lesson. Just going to share a couple of things that I think you should know. First of all, you must change your font to Times New Roman and your font size to 12. It must always be 12. Then the one thing that you must always do is change your line spacing, because if you don't do that, you will notice that there's going to be a big gap every time you press enter, and you don't want that. So let me just go and do that again. You click on line spacing options over here, and then here the after spacing will just become 0. And I mean, look here in the little preview, you see every time I say, if I increase the space, you will see it becomes bigger and bigger white space. You don't want that. So make it 0 so that there's no big spaces after pressing enter. Right. Now, when you type a paragraph, the heading is always capital letters, only capital letters, not bold and not spaced capital letters unless you have to do it spaced capital letters. For example, if I say spaced capital letters, what does that mean? Okay, I'm going to switch on cap lock, and that means I'm going to make a space in between everything. S, P, A, S, C, E, T. My Afrikaans is coming through here now. You can see that. All right, that is what spaced capital letters means. All right. So in the exercise I emailed you, it's not spaced. It's just a normal heading in capital letters and also centered. Sometimes it's not centered. Doesn't matter as long as it's capital letters. Now in the one that you're typing for me, that will be centered. Alright, your title is Harvesting Sugarcane. So you switch cap lock on and you type Harvesting Sugarcane. Okay, just want to mention something. When you type in capital letters, spell check doesn't see spelling mistakes. So let's make a spelling mistake here quickly. I'm harvesting. I'm going to take out the T. And when I do that, you will see it's still not showing a spelling mistake. That is because capital or all caps words, they don't show spelling errors. So please make sure that you don't make a mistake when you type in capital letters. All right. So harvesting gets the T back. Okay. After typing a title, you always press enter twice. Now, sometimes I feel like I can just say this is a universal rule for basically all documents. Enter twice, enter twice, enter twice, always enter twice. So here it is the same. So you're just going to say enter, enter. All right. Obviously, you are not going to start your paragraph in the middle of a page. So you're going to go back to a line left. And this is where you're going to start your paragraph. Now, the one that I sent you is a numbered paragraph, which means there's going to be number 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's only 4. All right. So how do you get your numbers? Well, it's easy. Here at the top, in the paragraph section, you will see there are bullets and there are also numbers. So you can just click on this little down arrow and select 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay. Just want to note something about the tabs. At the top here, you can see that the first line indent at the moment is not at the beginning of your white space. And you know what? It's not a problem, because don't be afraid to pull on those tabs. I tell you, it is so easy. For example, okay, by the way, if you don't see your ruler, you should just go to view and select the little checkbox that will display your ruler. Okay, so if you feel like this is just a bit too far, and I mean my settings may very well differ from your settings, so I would like my one to be at the beginning of my white space. So I just take that first line indent and I just drag it until you can see it starts right next to the gray, which indicates the margin. And then if you feel happy with this space over here, you can leave this one, but I'm just going to pull it in a little bit until it gets to 1. And this is where I will start typing. All right. I'm not going to type the paragraph because that is your job. I'm just going to say let me switch cap lock off, number 1. Okay, so this is my first number. Now, when you go to number 2, once again, you must press enter twice. So here we go. 1. Okay. Oh, what's going to happen now? Okay. If I press enter twice, okay, let me first press enter twice. You will see it's going to take away my number 2. Now, what do you do about that? Because you must leave 2 enters between your paragraphs. Okay, so this is what you do. You go back to the end of the first paragraph. You press enter once. Type your paragraph. Okay, number 2. You can even do number 3. Okay, all 3 paragraphs or 4 paragraphs. You can finish all of them, and then you go back to your first one. Press enter again, and then just backspace to remove the number 2. Press enter, press backspace, and then here you will see a bigger gap. Okay, but now I've got the same gap in between. I've got 2 enters, and you can see it is 2 enters. If you click on show hide, 1 2 1 2 1 2, here we have 1 2 enters, and this is how you will type your paragraph. Now, one of the things they also say is type it in block form. Well, that is just a fancy word for saying justify. So once you are done typing the whole paragraph, you will just select everything that you have typed and you will click on justify. Now you're selecting the title because that will never be part of the block. I mean, it is at the top. So it won't make a difference if you select it or not. So you select all your content and then you just get typing. Right. And that is as easy as that.